Hey everybody, it's Angel Tuccy. I wanted to introduce you to my friend Rob Marcovitz from My Debt Navigator as our brand new sponsor of Podlicity and Vidette Global Media. Rob, it's so good to see you today. Tell us a little bit about My Debt Navigator.
No, absolutely, and great to see you as well. So, My Debt Navigator is a basically start out as a financial wellness tool for almost everybody. I know you're going to ask me, hey, who does this fit? Kind of fits everybody. What we're
How does it
seeing.
fit everybody? Like why would that be a thing for everybody?
Well, really, what we're seeing across the board, just across America, is everybody seems like they're being weighed in with debt, with what's going on. I mean, 70% of America is living paycheck to paycheck, and that's unfortunate, but just the cost of everything seems to be going up. And we've gotten into we're kind of lacking in our world about, and you and I've had long discussions about this is lacking some of the financial literacy. I mean, it's something that's not taught in our schools. And so even though when we get older and we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right, and older, it's surprising how much you see people in debt, and they don't really understand the synopsis of basically how money works. How does money work? And really, more importantly, I think is how does credit work, and how does it really affect me? And one of the things, we talk about when we talk about debt, a lot of times, some of the questions I bring up or questions that I ask is, hey, Angel, if you had a $30,000 credit card bill and you were paying 22% interest and you never charged on the card before and you made just the minimum payments, well, how many years would it take to pay it off?
Hmm.
And I know, did I ask you that one before? I'm going to ask you now. So, how many years? Give me a guess.
Oh, I 30?
Okay, so you guessed really long, and
I
you knew
did,
it's
I
going to
did,
be
I
long.
did. Only because
So
I'm like, it's gonna be forever. It's
you
gonna
knew
be
I would try
forever.
and trick you up, and I didn't know it at first when and I've got a business finance degree in monetary economics and investment banking. So here I am supposedly knowing a lot, but when I first guessed, I guessed a little long, and I guessed 15. But I mean, a lot of the CFOs we run into when I ask them that question of big companies, they guess 12 years, 15 years, whatever. It's 38.3 years.
Oh, I was kind of hoping it was going to be like three, but
Yeah. So, I mean, mechanically, I mean, some of the people, the best closest answer I have, aside from yours being 30, is one lady answered me. She goes, probably never. And it's really probably the answer is people get into that. They just get caught up in debt. And really, we see it across the board. And the reason I say it fits everybody, we had a client come through. He's making almost $800,000 a year in income, living in a couple $1 million home. Everything's looking all gravy train. Well, his wife breaks down in front of one of our referring people, that deals with My Debt Navigator and starts bawling and goes, we have $292,000 worth of credit card debt. I cannot sleep at night.
Mm.
So that problem's real.
Yeah,
But I
it
think
doesn't matter what your income level, right, is. It's we're all tend to just spend just a little bit more.
we
And so
do.
there's
We
there's
do.
all this stress around debt. There's all this stress around credit cards, student
Yeah.
loans.
Yeah.
And so how does My Debt Navigator help?
No, and you brought up another good thing, and I'll answer that question as well. But on the federal student loans, what a lot of people don't realize there've been programs in place for years to help people with federal student loans. You may be one of those people we can help. Um, and it was a big political thing, but like I said, it's something we can do, and we typically knock those payments down. We had a lady come through, had 30 more years to pay off her loan, knocked it down to 5 years.
Mm.
So My Debt Navigator, what we do to help people is we kind of basically educate them and let them know, hey, look, right now it's going to take you 38.3 years to pay off that credit card, and then kind of show you some other options through some of our services that we offer. One of them is in our primary services, a thing called Debt Resolution, which is using consumer protection rights attorneys to find consumer right violations against you, the credit right, against the credit card companies. So a lot of these credit card companies, and you see it all the time. I won't name any names on this podcast, but without naming names, is they violate consumers' rights all the time. And the problem is if you're strapped, hey, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm barely making my, food slash rent and whatever other payments I have. And I'm barely making my credit card payment. It's not like they can physically, financially go forward and hire an attorney and go, hey, I think this bank is violating my consumer rights and help me, right? And so My Debt Navigator comes in and they look at your package as a whole. You could go have 3 credit cards. I have 5 credit cards. I have 25 credit cards. You can enroll as many as you want. There's a bunch of different options for everybody in there. And so I think really, when I look at the what's going on in like corporate America, there's a lot of financial wellness tools out there. But what we're finding is we meet because we do a lot of enterprise business with some big companies out there. And what we're finding with those people is that, yeah, we have financial wellness tools, but our participation rates are like 2.5 or 3%. Well, the reason they're 2.5 or 3% of your employees is because most of your employees don't care about the rule of 72 or investing in this or investing in that because they can barely pay their bills, right? So if you're barely paying your bills, you don't have freed up money to go invest. So we try and work with people to educate them, to teach them a little bit more about how money works, and more importantly, how credit works and how it can be devastating on them over long term to basically get them financially healthy enough to retire to be able to do some things in the future so they don't feel like they're strapped in all the time. The other big thing is it's become a big health concern in America as well because the anxiety of debt and the stress from debt can be detrimental. I mean, it sounds horrible to say, but there's a lot of companies we deal with, some of them in the insurance industry side, the healthcare side, and they say they actually have people call in sick because they're not feeling well because they stayed up all night because they have this anxiety that they can't pay their bills. So,
Okay,
um,
so if you've got stress over any type of debt, you just have questions about credit cards, and you're right, mydebtnavigator.com/podcaster. That's mydebtnavigator.com/podcaster. I actually changed my name on the Zoom here so that the screen so I could read it. Mydebtnavigator.com/podcaster. They are a sponsor of Podlicity of Vidette Global and would love to be your partner in helping you know that there's hope, solutions are available, and financial freedom is possible. Rob, we'll have a more in-depth conversation later, but I just wanted to give everybody just a quick little heads up about how they could get involved and find some answers. Any
absolutely.
closing remarks you want to share?
No, I mean, we'd love to help. We're out here to make things different and give people hope, just like you said. So I'm grateful for the time for sure.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being here, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.
Absolutely. Thank you.